Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Krish Mhatre. I graduated from IU last year in May 2021 with my bachelor and my master's degree in intelligence systems engineering. And currently, I work as a cybersecurity consultant at PwC in Chicago. And yeah, it's time to reinvest for the Hoosiers. So.
We appreciate it. I wanted to ask real quick, what exactly does ISC or Intelligent Systems Engineering, what does that mean to you as a employee?
So I'm going to be honest with you. This is the exact same question I asked the academic advisor 5 6 years ago. 5 years.
Uh-huh.
So I came to IU for Kelly, but I took like mostly business classes like economics and other prerequisites for Kelly in my freshman year and first semester freshman year, and I got I got into interaction with the ISC department and the academic advising, and they told me about them, and it kind of interested me at that point. And like I didn't really know anything about it before I enrolled. I still enrolled. I was like, all right, let's. It seems something cool. So I took 1 or 2 classes, and it seemed something cool. And yeah, I chose it, graduated, bachelor's, master's, everything. But I am like fortunate enough, like I got to know about ISC because like that is what like set my path, like in perspective of my career. And like there's a lot. Like right now I work as cybersecurity consultant, but like people like you'll be wondering like why, what is like in ISC that isn't like cybersecurity. There's no relation, but there are like a lot of like data science related courses and computer courses, like how computers work. So it's like just the core of IT industry in general globally is data. Data surpassed oil, like the uh, most expensive resource. So at ISC just made me so familiar with data, like the actual resource for anything related to IT, whether it's cybersecurity, whether it's artificial intelligence, anything it is, or just like basic computer engineering. So I think ISC made me so familiar with data and how to play around with it. And now like I just love playing around with it, like data because of ISC. And right now I can see the benefits of those things in my career as well. So that's like the gist of it, like the understanding of data, the concept data, because it's abstract, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I find that really interesting because I know a lot of people, they look at ISC and they're like, what even is that?
Yeah, that was me, to be honest. Like I didn't know at all like what intelligence systems is, or what artificial intelligence is, or what data is. Like, and I still don't, but I still have like a pretty good idea of what data is to play around with it because of the ISC degree.
Well, I guess kind of adding to that, how has ISC really helped your career?
I think like that is the same answer, but
okay. I wasn't sure if there's more.
Yeah, definitely. Like a lot of things other than like, okay, understanding how data works, that is a very abstract concept. And that was like the core of ISC that I'm utilizing in my career. But there are like some other ancillary things that I learned at IU and at ISC. And those are mostly like a lot of about like professionals and communications. And like when I say communications, okay, you can learn communication anywhere, but in IC I learned like because of like our capstone and everything, I learned like the technological communications, especially like what to say, like know your audience, because like okay, you are being an engineer or a tech guy, you know a lot, the person in front of you probably does not. So like what to say and to be very specific, and most important is what not to say. because if you say a lot of details, that is just going to confuse the other person.
Hmm.
I think that is the most important thing I learned during ISC. Like, and this is like the in-person skills, like not just related to technical aspects.
Right. Um, well, what's one thing that you wish you knew in college that would have helped you, I guess, jumpstart where you are now?
Um, okay, that's a tricky one. Um, so I feel like, so I was like part of like the first batch of ISC,
Uh-huh.
like Bachelor of Science in ISC people. So we were like around 28 people. By the time we graduated, that reduced down to around 12, 13, I guess. I don't know. So, um, but like one thing I feel like I was not that connected to like any one of them. I'm gonna be very honest with you.
Mm,
Um, but like now I am kind of, sort of, with a few of them. But I really feel like if you know, I can see like few connections and networking things I've made at IU. They are coming far away like than I thought initially. I just think like if I had like those kind of like social skills when I first came to IU, or first I started with ISC, I
hmm.
think that could have been much better. And yeah, it's just like if people who are coming to IU or like just starting college, like just make as many connections as possible, because like nobody knew like in
Hmm.
2016 or 2017 that, oh, we're gonna be working from home and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, like now it's very difficult to build new connections. You have to survive on the pre-existing connections. So
Hmm.
I feel like if I was more connected to my peers, that would have been better. But like I'm still connected to a lot of them. But
Hmm.
uh, yeah, it would just been better to have more connections during something like lockdown or anything in
Hmm.
general.
Yeah, I never realized how much connections are so important in the tech world. I didn't realize it until recently.
Oh no, they are definitely. Yeah. Um, for have you started looking for internships or jobs?
Personally, I'm looking at more of like research internships rather than tech-based ones, just because I am more focused on psychology. But
Okay.
yeah, so it's a much different ball game than the tech stuff.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
hmm.
Yeah. But like once you start, you know, when you're about to enter into the industry itself, which I just
Hmm.
did like a few months ago. I'm not like
Hmm.
an experience, but like that transition period, I think if you have more connections, the better it is, the better off you will be.
Right. Was there a classroom experience that best um, reflected what you do now?
Um, yeah. There were quite a few. So like I can tell you one of the projects we did at
Hmm.
for I don't remember. Oh yeah, it was the Internet of Things class. So for that, we had like our final project had to be like something about wearable devices. So no,
Gotcha.
I think it was the wearable sensors class. Yeah. So we built like this glasses which had like sensors facing towards your eyes. And they could tell if like it's basically for drivers, or like probably like uh, regular drivers who could be sleepy, and then they can, there are signs of like if you blink a lot you're sleeping, something
Hmm.
like that. So yeah, so we built that thing, and on the day of presentation they're like the entire staff of IU was there to
Oh, wow.
try out everyone like in the teams and everything. And like 1 hour before that, something went wrong with those glasses, and we just had like what 40-50 minutes to like just do something about it. And it was like when you're a student you're in a protected environment, but that was like the time I felt the pressure. Okay, it's like 1 hour, And I think that like we made it through. Like, yeah, we solved the problem and everything within 30-40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was like an exact representation of what I do at work now. It is usually like, because I'm into consulting, so clients will just ask you, okay, what is this? What is this? Like, can you do this? Can you do that? And like, I think that was the exact representation which I feel it now. Because before that, it was mostly like being a student, you're in a protected environment. You don't feel
Mm-hmm.
that pressure that much. So yeah, like that is one thing I can see it in my work, which I got used to in that IU. And there were a few more instances after that, similar. So
So these were classes that you actually made things and presented them?
yeah,
That's
no,
really
like
cool.
I didn't make like the glasses. We ordered like
Oh,
just the glass,
okay.
but we attached the sensors outside.
Gotcha. That's still really cool. That's cool. I
Yeah.
don't think a lot of people get that experience.
Oh yeah, it was. It was like, yeah, 3D printing everything. Yeah, it was. It was.
Wow.
It was a great experience. But yeah,
This one kind of is related to, I don't know if you already mentioned this, but looking back, after graduation, something you wish you would have done, which I guess you said networking, but is there anything else that you participated in that?
I probably wanted to do like something on my own, like a startup.
Oh,
I
uh-huh.
did, which I did. Like between like when after I graduated with my bachelor's and between like my master's. So I had like the summer, my internship got canceled because of COVID pandemic.
Hmm.
Always wanted to have my own startup, which I did during that time. That kind of failed miserably, but it was still alive for like 2 months. But yeah, that was one thing I wanted to do, but due to pandemic, probably things worked out. Like
Mm,
things did not work out. But now when I look back, I think it's better it did not, because I don't think I had that level of experience or understanding of the startup environment. So
so those are all the questions that um, were part of this. So is there anything else that you want to mention um, about Luddy or maybe your career or anything?
I mean, career wise, like yeah, it's like everything I learned at IU, I'm able to use it. Not probably not like all the technical things, but like a lot of
Hmm.
um, other things. Like as I said, like uh, the people skills, what they say. I think those are most important. Like when you, and especially when you're in consulting. I was a part of a fraternity at IU. I think
Oh,
like
cool.
I actually thought I'm in tech industry. Like I don't think this is going to be useful, but whatever it is, like I just wanted to be a part of it. So, but now when I look at it, like that helps a lot. Like the people skills, what I say,
Hmm.
that helps a lot. And yeah, apart from that, yeah, and one more thing, like I never got to it. I have 2 degrees from IU. I never got to attend any of the graduation. So
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
yeah, the first time it was, yeah, the first time it was because of the pandemic. It was canceled
Right.
in 2020. In 2021, it was I was in Bloomington and there was a graduation thing, but I had not gotten the job offer. So I was very depressed. I
Mm.
didn't feel like, going and getting the actual diploma.
Hmm.
So yeah, I never, and like this is the tricky part. This is like a funny part. Like the graduation happened on 7th or 8th May 2021 at 10 a.m. And at 11 a.m. I got a call that we want to offer a job.
Oh my
If
God.
they, yeah, I missed
It
my
was fate.
graduation.
Is
Yeah, so
that for PwC?
yeah, I told like the partner who called me. I told him like, Hey man, you should have called at least like an hour ago. I would have gone to my graduation. It's like,
That's
oh
so
my,
funny.
yeah, that is funny. But yeah, yeah, that is one thing I regret probably, like to attend a graduation.
Mm, gotcha. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
Ah, no,
Nice
no
talking with
problem.
you.